What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Martin for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar84 here once again, reviewing Scandal. I believe the episode is called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or something of the sort. Y'all, this has probably been the most intense, emotional episode of Scandal I have ever seen, and it's definitely going down as one of my favorites of the entire series. I honestly, since I still have this thing going on with YouTube where they only give me 15 minutes, I don't know how I'm gonna let me at least attempt. So we figure out that right offhand, we was wondering last week who was that got shot, and we figure out right at the beginning of this week that it was James that got shot. He ran and Jake shot him in the back. He shot the two other reporters or secretaries, whoever they were, and then James ran and he shot him. So we go to these throwbacks of Cyrus to before Grant was initiated or elected or whatever. And, they show him and James meeting at an initial bar. I believe James was just trying to get like a quote or something from him. But, they had like a little flirtatious, back and forth. And, James pretty much told him that, how am I... And I think Cyrus tried to tell him that he should, if he's going to try to play with the big dogs, he should dress the part. And James was like, how am I supposed to be taking fashion advice from somebody who has like a full beard or something like that? And he walks away. So we go back to the president, and we hear Sally Langston is, of course, trying to call the president, saying that they're going to, stop their campaign for a couple of days or however in honor of Cyrus's husband, James, and whatever. But they're still planning on attacking this gun law or this gun amendment still as a counter strike. Then we get to this bitch mother, Olivia, and the homegirl who was fucking Harrison gives her all this money, and she's trying to figure out what it is that she's gonna do. And we honestly, just getting Liv's mom out the way, she talks about terrorists, and we all thought she's a terrorist. She says, I'm not a terrorist. Terrorists are people who kill people for religion, God, their faith, or beliefs, or something like that. And she's like, that's not who I am. He said, but she was like, but you killed all the people on a plane. And she said that was personal. I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? Girl, y'all need to give me answers about this bitch, because she is just too mysterious for me. I need answers. I need light shined in the shadows of this bitch. And then when she goes to a meeting about, I guess, whoever it is that she's supposed to be dealing the monies with, she was like, I was talking to, I think his name was Irving. Your name is this, and what's your name? Yeah, neither one of you are him. So you see why I'm confused? I was like, yes, bitch. But then the man was like, oh, well, he's very busy, so any dealing that you had to do, you got to be dealing with us. Liv's mom said, oh, okay. Clack, clack, pow, pow, pow. Shot one and then stopped the other one. Took his gun and was like, bitch, look, you tell Irvin that you best to come and find my ass. I was like, bitch, I live for you, but you are a ooh, bitch. I just don't even know how to... I get my life from her, but she is disgusting at the same time. So then we get to the good shit. Huck finds out about Quinn because he's searching, Liz told him to find something. He's searching through, and he finds a video camera that he found that she, was coming in doing all this sorts of shit. So I'm like, oh, hell, Quinn fucked up now, girl. He done let you pass for too long, bitch. He's about to fuck you up for real now. So then, Lord have mercy, we get to this part. Cyrus and James going back, and he's reciting his speech, and they have like the little flirtations, so pretty much James makes the first move, says, I'm really attracted to you, this, that, and the fourth, and Cyrus being weird and not out yet is kind of like, I don't really know what to say, but then he's like, oh, well, I'm sorry for bothering you. And then, of course, Cyrus grabs him and makes out with him, and it was really nice. It was really nice to see. Huck pretty much shows Quinn's photo, so now Liv knows. I mean, no, Huck shows Olivia Quinn's photo about and tells her about what happened, and Liv goes to Jake, fussing and cussing, talking about how could you do that? How could you do that? And he confesses, what he did, and of course, Liv is pissed and doesn't understand. So Jake finds David and tells him to use the suspect because they already have he laid out a suspect for them to find, and David is of course being reluctant to use him because he feels a way that he's killed these people in front of him. But Jake comes to him and be like, why haven't you used my suspect yet? And you know what's gonna happen if you don't use it, right? And so pretty much David's being blackmailed. Um and we go to another throwback with Cyrus, and I felt as much as I hated Cyrus, and I really felt like every bad thing that came to him for what he did to James does he deserves it. This episode, I couldn't help but sympathize and empathize with Cyrus because I felt like I was him through 95% of this episode, and I just felt him so much. He was trying to tell, like, you had the conversation, like, when you're in the LGBT community and you're trying to come out, that shit is not easy. And I may have to omit a lot of the stuff that happened in this episode just so I can talk about this. That shit is not easy. So when he and apparently James have been together for such a long time, and it's at the point where he wants to go to one of the dinners that Fitz was having, and Cyrus was like, I don't know about that, and he's trying to figure out like when, like how long am I gonna be like your little dirty little secret or whatever, and Cyrus attempts to go and tell go and tell Fitz about, he was like, I'm seeing someone, and Fitz was like, oh, good for you, like, are you, and then he was trying to say like, oh, it's a reporter, and they're very opinionated. He started describing, giving very vague, descriptions, and he's like, is there anything else that you want to tell me about him? And he's like, no. And then he's like, Cyrus, like, are you in love? And Cyrus was like, yes, I am. And then Fitz was like, that's all that matters. And I was like, you know what, Fitz? Good for you. Good for Shauna for writing this shit in. Mellie and Andrew finally get it in. Mellie finally got her some dick. So now you can't even read Olivia because you and Olivia are now officially the goddamn same. Get that out the way. Abby basically pulls the information out from David about what happened because you can't pull too much shit over Abby. Like, she knows. So she pretty much tugs out of him, and he pretty much confesses his whole situation. Like, he hasn't made any arrests because he feels bad, he feels blackmailed, and he's just scared as shit, basically, from B613 Command. And let's see. Oh, I skipped over the part where Liv talked to her father. Liv contacts her father, and she wants him to be her dad for once. She, doesn't want to be talking to Command because he walks up, he's just like, what? And she just like, well, damn, my nigga, like, can I get a hi? How you doing? Like, can you be nice to me for once? Shit, And she was like, I just need you to be dad right now. Like, I don't need you to be Command. I don't need you to be giving me that bullshit. I need you to be my father right now. So, long story short, Daddy Pope goes into this long spiel about how he understands what Jake did, because when Olivia was telling him about it, he was like, oh, that, I know about that. And then she's like, how can you just say it like that? And he explains that being Command is, somewhat similar to being the hand of God, and it's like the worst punishment, and how he deciphers the difference between killing somebody and being responsible for killing somebody. Like, if I were to tell somebody to kill somebody else, put a hit out on somebody else, they, well, by his definition, aren't responsible for killing that person. I would be, since I was the one with the intent. Jake is now responsible for that kill, so he feels like anything that that he does is opposed to how when Daddy Pope used to get people to kill people for him, Jake says, I'm going to do it myself. So, and Daddy says that, all those 183 people, I feel like he confessed that he feels bad. Like he literally feels bad about what he did. And it's a difference. And so he tries to pretty much say, give Jake some kind of leeway, because I understand that what he's doing is not easy. It's one of the worst punishments in the world, as he puts it. I forgot to mention about that. Then we get to the part where my mouth fell to the floor in just shock. Huck meets with Quinn, and at this point, I'm like, Quinn is dead. There's no hope for this bitch. She's gone. They get to talking, and the next thing you know, first of all, she spit on him. Now, I just knew. And then, at no other moment, I'm like, this bitch is doomed. You just spit in Huck's face. This bitch kills people for fun. You're dead. There's no getting around that. They start making out. I'm like, side eye to Shonda. Really, bitch? Now you've seen these Twitter. Now you've been on Twitter live tweeting, and everybody's talking about kill Quinn, and now we get to the point where Quinn could actually die, and she makes out with Huck. What? I mean, I get it. But, come on. And then he walks away. Girl, bye. Huck, you should have pulled another tooth or something at least. Shit. Something. He broke into your shit. He broke into Liz. Whatever, girl. Shonda, you tried it. Liv talks with David. She wants him and David to team up to take down B613. I'm here for it. Then we get to my favorite part. Okay. My favorite part of the episode. I was so happy. I cried. I did. And it was so people who are in the LGBT community can really connect with this last section of the episode. They're at this dance or ball or whatever, and Cyrus is sitting back like most of us. I know I do. We sit back in a heteronormative environment, and we see everybody else being able to be out and expressive with the people that they love, and it doesn't make a person who's gay feel very good, because they feel so limited, and they feel like they can't really express themselves like everybody else around them can express themselves, and so they feel ostracized and alone in a sense. Even in a crowded room, they feel alone. And Cyrus does what a lot of people in our community wouldn't dare to do. He reached out. He went and grabbed James from outside the polls. James was trying to, are you sure you want to do this? He didn't say nothing. He didn't even give himself a chance to give it a second thought. And he started to dance with James in the middle of everybody, and everybody was looking at him crazy for a second. And then, Fitz and Melis was like, oh my God. And then they started smiling, and they was together. I was like, oh, that is so sweet. That really touched my heart. It was so nice to see that. It was nice to see homosexuality represented in a way that wasn't ratchet or negative. So definite A+ to Shonda Rhimes for that. And then, because as he was remembering that, Lord bless his soul, Cyrus was holding a press conference, and Liv tried to hold him back. In the middle of it, he remembered that moment where he just kind of braved through the fear, and he just started to cry, and I just started to cry right with him. I was just like, I feel so bad for Cyrus. As much as I hated you, I couldn't help but feel for you, bitch. And I just wanted to cry with him. I didn't even look at him like that monster. I just looked at him like a gay man who lost the love of his life, which is something that we in the gay community do not get too often. So I really just felt bad. I couldn't help but want to hug my TV, and I shed a tear a little bit. So my condolences to the character Cyrus. But that's my review for this episode, y'all. I cannot wait until YouTube releases this 15-minute constraint from me, so I can give y'all full-fledged reviews like I used to. But until then, I have to abide by their fucking rules. But Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye-bye.